What's going on, y'all? So listen.
Ooh, what's going on, y'all? We back again. Excuse my voice. Excuse everything. Y'all already know the deal if you've been watching for the past few videos. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm trying to knock this out because I don't want to be late on anything else. We are back for another episode review of Power Book. Baby, we ain't got the shot no more. We gotta wait till they come back. God damn. Cause I was waiting for it, but I forgot that was the mid-season last week. This week, let me just tell you something. This episode of Power Book 4 Force Season 2 Episode 5, what's it called? Crown Vic. Listen, it was good. It was good. It was good. It was action-packed, okay? They said they wanted to be called Action Jackson. All right, but we get into it. And it's gonna be easier for me to do it this way. Because y'all, let me tell y'all something. I tried to work out like a fool. And my Lord, girl, I had to stop because I almost passed out. God, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. But anyway, let's just do Dmac's part first, okay? Dmac is so confused, is so scared about what's gonna happen with this whole situation with him killing the cop, right? And so Tommy basically been trying to tell this boy, be cool. I don't need you to do anything but stay in this house and to stay low. He can't do that for nothing, okay? At one point, Tommy goes over there to see Diamond. We got a whole bunch of cops already patrolling the streets, right? Not because a cop officer has been, killed or whatever, but because of the fact that, they got this task force against the CBI trying to lure Tommy out, trying to get Tommy and everybody else, And so, of course, they're going to be circling around, and the street's just not safe. You already got this heavy presence of police around. Why would you deliberately put yourself out there? This goes to show how kids always thinking that they know better. And I'm going to call him a kid. I don't care how old he is. I don't care if he's a teenager. He is still a child. And we found out last week that he did drop out of school. He needed to be looking into getting a GED or something, okay? That's what he needed to be focusing his time on, since he ain't had nothing else to do, since he think that the only thing that he got is the street life. Mind you, last week he was talking to his daddy about how he's good at math and he's good at this or whatever, but you can't put your mind to doing something else but being in the streets. You so restless and want to be in the street and get in trouble that you gonna defy all odds and defy what your uncle, who is heavy in the streets and who is a shot caller, who know how this thing goes, and trying to save you so that you won't go to juvie and, depending on how old you are, be charged as an adult for taking out a police officer. Granted, he was a crooked police officer. He was a dirty cop. But at the same time, he was a cop no less, But instead of you staying inside, you outside on the corner right in front of the freaking barbershop. Tommy yoke him up, get him back in the house, told him he better stay up in there. Of course he don't. He leaves. Because Kate comes in, sees that he's all up in his feelings, because Genesis is not texting him back. Genesis think that, he stood her up on purpose because the very first time that they was ever supposed to go out on a date or anything like that, he stood her up. That was years ago. This was his second chance, and when he got it, he messed it up again because this time he didn't get himself in some trouble where he called himself a body, okay? A dirty body, And so Kate is like, oh, I know what it is. I know that look. What's the girl name and all this stuff. And I can't do nothing because Uncle Tommy told me to stay up in the house or whatever. So, of course, Kate, Kate being a grandmama. And you know what type of grandmama I'm talking about. She's the type of grandmama, like, if she treated your kids bad, she going to make up for it by treating the grandkids better. You know what I'm saying? Or some of us already got, even if they had good relationships, some grandparents, they just really, really, really soft on the grandkids. Because my grandma like that, And I feel for anybody that ain't got grandparents like that. They're the best. They're the best. And I really feel like with Darnell, a.k.a. Dmac, this is her redemption. This is her chance to start over a little bit and to make it seem like, you know, she is an adult and she can't be a loving maternal figure, because she wasn't that to Tommy and she wasn't that to JP. All right, she literally gave JP up. And so at this point, she gives him $20, Dmac $20 to go to get her some cigarettes, and she said you can stay out as long as you want to. Meaning giving him an excuse to leave the house so that, you know, he could go talk to old girl and make things right. When Tommy comes back, he realizes that he's not here. Mind you, earlier when he brought him up into the house or whatever, he had yoked him up and JP was like, "Get your hands off my son." I said, you trying to play daddy now? He said, yeah, I'm trying to play daddy. And of course, when it comes to Tommy, I just don't understand how come they don't realize that if he is coming at one of them like that and at a serious tone, why they don't realize that he is doing something for their good. I just don't get it at this point, right? And so Tommy is trying to tell him what's going on without telling him what's going on so that he won't involve JP. So it's one of those I didn't know type of situation. So if you get questioned by somebody, I have no idea what you're talking about. You know, one of those situations. He don't want to further get anybody else involved. That's why he don't want to tell Kate. And so when Kate did this and then they found out that Darnell is gone, Tommy had to call or send a text out to this guy named Smurf. Smurf is the big boy that's on the crew, you know, that we saw last week and the other week or whatever. And so basically he goes to the park, Dmac, to go kick it with Genesis or to go apologize to Genesis. And before he can even get to her, the black van pops up. Smurf and them get out and basically put Darnell in the head, cover his head up in a hoodie or whatever, and then throw him in the back of the van and then drop him off at this place. I think it said South Garden or something. I don't know. I don't even know if they still in Chicago or whatever. 9 out of 10, they probably not. They probably on the outskirts of Chicago or like another little small city out there in rural Illinois. And basically put him out there, and it's like, what is it? It's like a farm or something, because even though we saw the big house, I don't know if it's a boarding house or a boarding school or anything like that, or a boarding community, but we saw that they do farm work. We saw the cows and stuff. And, you know, Tommy had to call. They called Tommy. Tommy had him on the phone. Dmac, of course, is pissed off, but Tommy is saying this is for your better good. Since you couldn't understand to just keep your antsy ass up in the house, now I'm going to put you away so that you won't get hurt. And understand, if I didn't care about you, this is what he didn't say, but this is what he was saying at the same time. If he didn't care about him, he wouldn't be going through all of this. He literally wouldn't. He would have just let himself get taken care of. You know what I'm saying? If somebody gets you on the street, somebody gets you on the street. But he actually do care about him. And he said, you're going to stay there until I see fit for you to come back home. And at the end of that conversation, he was about to say, I love you, but he just hung up. You heard him say, you know, and he just hung up. Meanwhile, when Kate found out that, because she was sitting there just really you know, concerned, like, oh my God, where is Dmac? Where's Darnell? He hasn't come back. You know, it's been a long time since he's been back, the whole day. And she's just really, really stressed out and concerned. And so they said, listen, mama, you ain't gonna be able to see him. You might as well stop tripping because you ain't gonna see him for a long time. And so at this point, she gets pissed off, and then when JP come up in there and say the same thing, she was like, oh my God, you knew about this or whatever, because he was like, this is for his better good. You know, it had to be done. And she was like, I raised animals. I think in Kate's mind, she feels as though Tommy killed him and that JP went on ahead with it, not realizing that, no, they just relocated him. That's it. And then when she said, I raised animals, JP said, you didn't raise neither one of us, so what are you talking about? Baby, that kind of hit Kate for a minute. Kate really was in her feelings, and I kind of felt bad because Kate, we seen Kate go through some mess, and we seen Kate was a terrible person. And then all of a sudden, we want to see Kate, and she clean, and she trying to get on the straight and narrow. I said, girl, what? She said, baby, that being clean and being cute and being nice and being a good citizen, that was cute for a moment. But baby, old Kate is about to make a resurgence. I said, what's about to happen, girl? Kate went upstairs looking at the picture of Darnell and all that stuff, stroking it, crying, opens up her little drawer, see that little packet of little drugs or whatever that Tommy had gave her earlier in the season. And she said, no, I'm clean, I don't want to do that stuff. She should have threw the shit away in the first place. But no, mama said F that. She went on ahead, popped that thing open and got down to it. I said, damn. As soon as she stuck her finger in there, then she did that. I said, woo! That shit came back. They said, listen, it's just like riding a bike. Okay, you may not have done it in a long time, but as soon as you hop back on, that muscle memory gonna come right through. She said, bitch, give me that straw. I said, oh my God, Caitlin, what is happening? Don't go this route. She said, girl, fuck that. They done took my grandson. They done took my only means of redemption away from me. And now, old Kate is back. I said, all right, girl, we'll see. Moving on from that, this whole situation with CBI, Jannard, girl, a mess. It is literally a mess, okay? And more so, the person that's the mess is Jannard. At this point, listen, I don't trust Jannard. And you want to know why I don't trust Jannard? Because Jannard is a crackhead. And I'm bringing that up because of how his story is about to come back. Didn't I say if he don't get right, he either gonna die or he needs to get back to he gonna get taken out, or he needs to go ahead and ask for forgiveness and try to get back in there with Diamond, because he can't do this by himself. That's exactly what wound up happening. All right, because we see Diamond go kick it at the diner that he always go to, right? And one of the guys, the waiter or whatever, he's telling him about this guy named Big Sid is in the hospital. He's in hospice. You need to go over there and you need to talk to him or whatever. Be like men and figure out your issues and all of that stuff. And he was like, I don't give a damn. And so I was like, who is Big Sid? Now, when the barber had brought up Big Sid later, I realized Big Sid was his daddy because of the animosity and the hostility that he was saying things about him like he really didn't give a damn or whatever. So I just realized that it was the daddy right then and there, right? And so while he was sitting up in the diner, girl, all of a sudden, here come these two dudes. CBI killers. Bah, 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 bah. I said 713. I said, oh my God, what are y'all doing? I mean, first of all, if you trying to take out somebody, how you come in and you take out the lady that's right next to you when the person that you trying to take out is in front of you? Woo! Let me just tell y'all this. Y'all niggas be trying to be out here trying to be Billy Badass, right? Some of y'all need to take y'all asses to the shooting range before y'all go out here trying to do stuff. Because if you went to the shooting range, I ain't trying to get nobody no ideas, but y'all need to get y'all skills up. Because that's why all these innocent bystanders be getting killed and all this stuff, or getting harmed and, you know, getting injured, because you don't know how to aim, you don't know how to hold a gun, and you don't know how to shoot, okay? I'm sitting here like, that lady was sitting right next to you. Diamond is all the way in the back. So how did the bullet come over here? Did it ricochet off of somebody to pop right next to you? And she got shot a couple of times. I saw a couple of hoes. I said, what the f is going on? A few people up in there got hit. The target never gets hit in this situation. Who didn't get hit? Diamond. And then he rolled behind the counter. He rolls behind the counter and he get his gun, or the gun that was behind there, and he wound up not shooting. Either he was about to shoot, or it wasn't no bullets in there, or something was going on. They had already left. I said, put that gun down, because you're not about to get caught up, boy. Okay, we already went to jail for a minute, and we don't need you to go back and violate parole. Or clean your prints off that gun and just get up out of there. So when he go to the he go back to the dollar store, the barber shop, he winds up telling Tommy what happened. And he basically was like, the people that came at him, they from 71st and Tallman, right? And basically these are older, CBI used to be this big, huge organization. Years ago, before Jannard broke off from CBI, another group had previously broken off, and they became the people over there on 71st and Tallman, right? That crew, right? And so that's being held, run by this guy named King Kilo. And when Diamond was in jail, they both was in jail together, and they both had this little conversation where they wanted to think about bringing together all of the organizations and making it so that it's like a coalition. And, you know, so that it won't be that much mess going on, and it can stop all this violence or whatever, and it's going to be this big old crew against everybody else, right? And so now they're thinking about whether or not to do that to calm down everything that's going on. And so they did get in contact with him, and he was like, cool, because, you know, Damon had his girl, Kenya, whatever her name is, the guard, give him the phone, King Kilo, while he was up in jail. And he said, I mean, that's cool or whatever that you want to do this coalition, but I'm be down for it, but I'm going to just have to tell you this. I want 50% of the operation that's going on in the prison. Tommy heard that and hung up the phone. I said, Tommy, goddamn, you need to chill the fuck out. Like, just let that man talk sometimes, okay? He be bothering me. I be like, oh my God, Tommy, you cannot just keep on doing this. Only to eventually be like, yeah, go ahead and do it. Because at one point, Diamond had to tell him, bitch, all of this shit is your fault right about now. The stuff that we going through is your fault. When you went out and you killed Chewie when I told you not to. You put all of this stuff in motion. From you killing Chewie to the whole situation with T-Mac being killed, because you know, because he wound up shooting at Chew as retribution or revenge, and the task force coming about, you know, the soldiers getting picked up on the streets because of this task force, because they're looking for Tommy. All this shit's for him. And I said, you know what, you kind of right, you kind of right. And so, of course, he was like, cool, cool, cool. Going back and tell that man we'll go ahead and do it. You know, it is what it is. You know, I had to tell him about Dmac. He took care of that situation. Damon had took care of the body, right? I said, now what y'all do with the body? Don't tell us. Now, where is the body? Ooh, Queen Sheba. Body beautiful. I'm finna watch 214 after this, baby. Anyway, so you got that going on. Meanwhile, over there with Jannard, girl, the crew is struggling. They ain't got no more product. They been out of product. He asking about the fact, what about the product from last week? Y'all through with that? It was like, nigga, we been done with that. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Call Yo-Yo. Ask Yo-Yo, can we get some stuff or whatever? And it was like, Yo-Yo don't fuck with you no more like that. They don't fuck with you for the simple fact that they already know that you in deep with Miguel. Miguel don't fuck with you no more. And the fact that you on your own shit. You know what I'm saying? You out here getting high on your own supply. And he was like, what, nigga? I was like, I'm just saying, it is what it is, right? So he trying to tell his other dude, his right-hand man, I just need you to stay loyal. I just need you to stay loyal. You know, I just don't understand what's going on. And it's one thing to be an addict or to start using drugs, but to allow that stuff to just take hold of you and you visibly is seeing that you can physically see the change happening in you. And that's literally what was going on. Like, you can literally see you see his skin changing. You see his eyes glossing over. You see when we first saw Jannard was clean shaven. That nigga got like a 15 o'clock shadow. And it's taco meat. It ain't even connecting. That's how messed up he looking. And I don't feel like it used to never connect. It used to connect. It just don't want to connect no more. He just in a bad, erratic state. Because he's a crackhead right now. On that heroin of all things. I said of all the drugs. You gonna get on that black tar? Are you serious, sir? Girl, and just be doing all that stuff in front of him, in front of everybody, and you know they got a problem when they don't have an issue doing it in front of people, especially when you are in the drug game. You are supposed to be the king of the drug game right now, your faction, and you are doing it, the supply that you're supposed to be taking out and putting out there on the street to get the money for, you actually sitting there doing it in front of everybody. Girl, I wouldn't want to work with your ass either. And you had the nerve to be surprised that them niggas wanted to leave. Y'all gonna leave and y'all gonna choose him over me? I'm the star of this movie. Baby, I don't want no King Kong. King Kong ain't got shit Oh, me, I was waiting for him to say that. Last week, I was really waiting for him to say that. Nigga, your mouth is bleeding, and you think I'm supposed to want to stay with this? No, sir. I don't know what's going on. And I feel like at this point, something is going to happen with his health. I don't want to assume, but I just feel like it might. Later, we see Jannard walking through a project. And it's, baby, to be honest, it looked kind of like Wentworth Gardens, but I know it's not. He over there, and it looked like it's CBI territory because Smurf was over there. Smurf was the one in the green that said, "What you doing over here? You ain't allowed over here no more." You know what I'm saying? And he wound up getting into this car, and it's the stud up in the car. I said, "Bitch, I know her. Her name, Amina, something like that. Anina, girl, find her on Instagram. I used to follow her on Instagram. I had to unfollow her because, you know, she became too. Everything was want to be inspirational and a lesson. Girl, I had to unfollow. But I used to follow her way back in the day when, because she used to do like these little hood movies out here in Chicago, because she from Chicago. And I will give the people from Power or whatever, and these Chicago people these Chicago shows their props, because once again, they're getting local talent. They're getting local talent to play in this show. And basically, she go by the name Manny, and Jannard went up in that bitch and stole her drugs and her chain. And hit her in the face with the fucking pistol. I said, bitch, you got me fucked up, okay? And then gonna bring the stuff back, and he all cheesy. Yeah, we got some stuff. I told you I was gonna come through. I told you I was gonna come through. And they was like, yo, this, we good. We back up. Miguel fucking with you again? Yeah, my nigga, this from Miguel and all this stuff. And then they was like, but wait a minute, that's Manny Chain. Why Manny Chain right there? I said, child, this fool. He and the Serbs keep texting him about payments being due. I said, Jannard is just a mess. A fucking mess. To the point that he needed a freaking hit. Like, I guess he went the whole day or half the day without having some little heroin or whatever, because it wasn't the cocaine that had him acting like that. It was the heroin, and he went to go get some from this dude. Dude said, I sold the last of it to the white boy that just left and closed the door in front of in his face. So he gonna find the white boy trying to bribe him to give him the stuff, right? And he was like, cool. He was like, I'll give you anything. The next thing I know, we standing in front of a Crown Vic, an old ass Crown Vic, and Jannard taking his jacket off and all this stuff, and he get up in that man's car. I said, Jannard, what you about to do? Now, when I see clothing start coming out, I said, I know you're not finna suck this man. Please tell me I wasn't the only one who thought Jannard had fell that low that he was about to suck this man dick for some goddamn drugs. I swear to God, when that jacket came off, I said, excuse me, you're getting comfortable. And then especially when dudes started talking, he was like, yeah, this Crown Vic or whatever, in the back seat just as big as a king size bed. I had a bitch back there that I was doing all this stuff to her and all this stuff. I was like, wait a minute, what's gonna happen? Why are we talking about sexual stuff? Is you about to take over, Jannard? Like, what's going on? It was giving me those teas. I said, damn, Jannard, get your ass up out the car before he do something to you. Girl, Jannard gave him his, I think his necklace or something like that, which probably was Manny's necklace, who knows. And then he took the heroin and he sniffed it while old boy is trying to prepare it through a needle. As soon as he saw him do that, he said, no. He said, what are you doing? You wasting it. I said, what happened? And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I ain't never know that you can sniff heroin like that. I always saw people on TV, because I ain't never seen that. Let me tell you something. Let me clear this up. I ain't never seen nobody do drugs like that in front of me. Okay, with my own two eyes, in person. I seen the shit on TV. Every time I seen somebody doing something in a documentary, in a regular TV show or a movie, they is lighting it up, heating that bitch up on the spoon, and a needle is coming out, and they shooting it up. That's what I seen. So when I seen Jannard sniffing that shit like it was cocaine or some crushed up pills, I said, excuse me, what? You could do that with heroin? I said, what the hell come people don't do it like that in the first place? We can eliminate a lot of this, STDs and, disease from sharing needles and all that stuff or whatever. Girl, cause the man said you get it faster cause bitch it goes into your veins. And I said, yeah, that's exactly why. Janara said, I don't do that shit. I don't fuck with needles like that. I said, that's one of the smartest things that you said this whole time you've been on the show. And dude said, don't worry about it. Like, come on. It'll go so quick, you won't even know what hit you. Next thing you know, that man prepared that shit and stuck it. He said, clean slate, clean R. I said, oh my God. Janara, this is about to be a problem. That motherfucker put that needle up in him and he was out right away. And let me ask y'all this. Once do it take you that fast? Or is they really exaggerated when we see stuff? Like because I'm like, damn, how do it course through your veins that quick? And that you would feel it that quick? Like, I've never done drugs like that, so I wouldn't know. And I'm just want to know, like, how is... I just want to determine fiction from facts. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. That's all I want to know. Meanwhile, he had, and prior to this, he had went to the hospital because the daddy was in the hospital. What's his name? Diamond called Jannard, and then he hung up, and then he just called the boxing place where Shanti worked, and winds up telling Shanti what was going on. And when Jannard came in there, she told him that, your daddy is in hospice. But then she looked at him and saw that he looked all fucked up, and she just couldn't deny it no more. She was like, nigga, is you on that shit? Like, what's going on? I don't need you to prejudge me. I ain't come here for this. I said, oh, you acting like a true crackhead. Okay, you can't take nothing. God damn. Meanwhile, when that happened, he had came up to the hospital, and he saw Diamond up in there, and he walked away. I said, what the fuck? Now, see, Diamond had came up there to see his daddy. Otis. Big Sid. Baby, that nigga told him, oh, you know what, to fuck you up here. Okay? Like, I hope you don't think that I'm finna give you an apology, because I don't give a fuck. I ain't never want to have no kids in the first place. He said, I can tell. I already knew that. Basically, they was having a shitty match back and forth about, I can't stand you, nigga, I can't stand you either. You ain't shit, well, you ain't shit either, okay? Because he left the father left the family, left the mama and the kids struggling, didn't give a fuck about them, and went to the streets. Now, when they said to go into the streets, I don't know if it was like he was a dealer in the street or if he was like one of the crackheads in the streets. I don't know which one. It could go either way or it could be both, okay? Look at Jannard. And so he basically came down on, what's his name? Diamond basically called him, said he ain't shit because he was like, y'all, all you had to do was take care of your brother. And look what you did. You couldn't even do that. You left him alone for 15 years or so. And look at him. You know he ain't got the heart for this. You know he can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I said, wait, hold up. That wasn't his responsibility. That was your responsibility. I said, now how you gonna get mad at him for not doing your job? What? And the reason why he got sent to jail and the reason why he was out here in the street hustling is because your ass wasn't there to take care of him. That's why. I'm just like, you got your damn nerves. You know, sometimes old people, they just be set in their ways and they just don't give a fuck, especially when they on their dying days. You know what I'm saying? And I said, child, this don't make no sense. The daddy wound up having a little attack or whatever because Diamond basically said, nigga, I don't give a fuck. The only reason why I'm here is just so I can make sure that you really is here and you really are dying. And I always dreamt when your ass was going to die. And I realized dreams do come true because, look, your ass about to die. I said, damn. Now, bitch, I don't give a fuck about my daddy either, but I wouldn't say all of that. Like, what? Wow, that's a lot. Then, you know, when he came to, we see them, they do have a little conversation. And, of course, the feelings have changed. And the daddy told him exactly why he left. And, you know, the streets was calling him. And the reason why he hated Diamond, he didn't like Diamond because he knew Diamond was strong and Diamond didn't need him. That's why he focused his attention on Jannard because he knew that Jannard needed more help than Diamond. Okay? And they kind of made amends a little bit, got a little closure, whatever. The daddy wound up dying. Jannard come up there after he done got hop in that car and wanted to know what happened. I like your daddy dead. Okay, I said all in one day, in the span of a couple of hours, baby. They found out. Diamond found out at 10 o'clock in the morning that his daddy was in hospice. He went up there to the hospital probably around 1 o'clock, and around 6 o'clock the daddy was dead. What? I'm sorry. What? You couldn't even. How long the nigga was up in hospice and y'all just not telling the man? Okay? Y'all obviously got a communication with him and y'all just not telling him. Wow, that was funny to me. I mean, it was messed up. That's what was funny about it. Because I was like, really? Really? Y'all made that man, y'all said, listen, this is a one-time thing. We don't need to drag this on, take that nigga out right about now. Truth be told, we ain't even need to see this. We didn't even see this part. But they put it in there. And so I guess this was what they're going to use to get Diamond and Jannard back on the same team, because when Jannard get up there, he was like, what'd he say? What'd he say? And it was like that he loves you and you was his favorite, and, you know, he's sorry for walking out on us and he wish he could have did more and all this stuff. Woo, woo, woo. And, you know, he caught himself when he was about to say something, when he was like, well, I mean, he, you know what I'm saying? Because he was speaking from himself. At that point, Diamond was talking about himself, but he was using it as if the daddy was saying these things to Jannard. But this is what Diamond is saying to Jannard. And then Jannard was like, you know what? My bad for everything, because I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I know. But you left and you did all this stuff and you kind of pushed. I know, nigga. I want to come back to CBI. Yeah, you could come back. I said, oh. This going to be an issue. So you're going to be able to put away all your little beef, all your little problems there. And I see some shit like this. I see stuff like this. It's going to make me not want to have any dealings, okay, with that particular organization or that person. Y'all can't get y'all shit together. You break up, you make up, you break up, you make up. That's going to make me want to push back. You know, like, I don't want to be a part of that shit. It's too fucking messy. That's how I look at it. But, you know, I just don't trust it for the simple fact that Jannard is still on drugs heavy. And again, not just any drugs, heroin. And that's a hard drug that I do know to get off of, to get clean from. And then now he done got introduced to the rush of how it is to get it intravenously, right? And then remember, he shared that needle with that man. Don't know where it came from, but we do know that man shot him up and then shot himself up with the same needle. There that is, okay? You can think of whatever's going to happen in. And now he want to come back to the girl, it's going to be a mess. I wouldn't trust him. I would not trust him at all. Meanwhile, we get Maria, Miguel's sister. She was over there at the hospital with one of the nurses, and the nurses is complaining about somebody else not coming in on time or whatever, or calling off and all that stuff, changing the schedule. Whole time Maria like this. And she was like, girl, who you up here texting? You texted Dr. Kendall. He got you open like that. But wait a minute. Dr. Kendall is up in surgery. Girl, who you texting? Baby, she was texting Tommy. Tommy talking about something. I miss you. I can't wait to see you. I said, damn, you got Tommy open like that? I was like, oh, girl, I hope you survive. Because every time Tommy get into it with some woman, they just don't really make it through, okay? They don't see it all the way to the end of the season, you know? Meanwhile, that lady comes in that got shot at the diner, and she was like telling Maria that her name, whatever her name was, tell her father that she loves him and his name is Felipe. He down in Mexico and all that stuff or whatever. And she winds up dying. She was talking to Dr. Kendall. Dr. Kendall is the doctor that she going with, right? And, you know, she was taking it personal. She was like, you know, her daddy is in Mexico. Her daddy's name's the same. She's around my age. And me and her father have, my father and her father have the same name, you know? And he basically was like, okay, Ann, we are in the medical field. People gonna die, and you need to just learn how to get over it, and move on to the next. And she was like, nigga, what? He was like, you can't keep wasting your time on stuff like this. And she said, you know what? Fuck that. You wasting our time, okay? Do you even love me? And he was like, huh, what? She said, exactly. And let me stop wasting your time, because I don't love your ass either. This shit is done. And so she walked away. He was like, wait a minute, Maria. And at this point, I said, nigga, don't do what I think you're going to do. Baby Maria came out that door. He grabbed her arm. And I said, hold up. Come to find out, Miguel was sitting outside waiting to pick her up from work. And he see the commotion that's going on. And he saw that grabbing of the arm, right? And I said, oh, shit. Girl, she said, get the fuck up off of me. He come up in there. She come into the car. Miguel said, you good? You want me to handle that? She was like, nah, don't worry about it. He's a fucking asshole. It's over. It's done with. Don't even do nothing, okay? Girl, I don't know why he told Miguel that. Miguel was asking you that just to make it seem like he gave a damn what you had to say. Miguel, and one thing Miguel don't do, Miguel don't play about his sis, okay? Miguel don't play about his family. Because next thing you know, Dr. Kendall was coming into his home. Nice home, okay? Dr. Kendall was coming up into his home. Miguel and his goons was already up in there. Baby, they put that motherfucking hands down on it. He said, put your hands palm down. Took the award that he won for being the doctor or whatever it was and smashed one of the hands. He said, is this the hand that you do your surgeries with? And it was like, oh. And it was like, put the other one up there. And he did both of them. He said, just in case your ass is lying. I said, God damn. That nigga ain't finna mix with nobody else. He gonna go right back to the white girls. Anyway, moving on from that, let's get to the Flynn family, okay? Baby, because when I tell you a mess and shit is about to get real over there, and I'm just really concerned and confused as to where this stuff is about to go now. So the situation, last week we saw that, you know, after Vic saw how the daddy was playing him and what he did to Claudia's bar and everything. And, you know, he just was over it. And he didn't want to work with Claudia, but he decided to go ahead and work with her, right? Then they came up with this plan. Claudia said, listen, we need to take that motherfucker out, too. And he was like, listen, I really don't want to, but, you know, I guess if we got to, we'll do it. And so she was like, yeah, we'll set that shit up with Doyle, Brandon. So Brandon got some dude that calls himself the Apocalypse. I said, y'all need to see, that's where y'all be working. He from Ireland too, right? They was like, oh, so you part of the Four Horsemen? He said, no, bitch, that was the Four Horsemen shit. You know the motherfuckers didn't come back. I'm the Apocalypse. I said, you know what? What keep messing y'all up is y'all keep giving yourself these nicknames that y'all can't live up to, okay? You should have just called yourself Red at this point because that's what you saw. That's the last thing we saw of your ass, all right? Because I think y'all put y'all expectation so high and you can't meet it. Calling yourself the Apocalypse, calling yourself the Four Horsemen, and all of them hoes is gone. I said as soon as I heard his name, I said, "Oh, y'all like you're gonna be gone just like the Four Horsemen." It is what it is. It's just gonna happen, you know. And so at this point, when that wound up happening, basically they came up with this plan where they were gonna go. What's his name? Vic was gonna go over there, have dinner with his daddy. The people was gonna come through at 9 o'clock and just shoot up the place and kill the daddy, right? They was worried about whether or not Paulie was over there. And then they found out that, you know, Paulie got fired. So it was like, okay, cool, because they didn't want Paulie to go. They liked Paulie more than they liked the daddy because Paulie was very understanding. But Paulie is also very, very, very loyal to Vic, to Walter, you know, to the point that Paulie came back. Now, before they was about to get ready to do stuff, Victor was telling them where to meet up and all this stuff or whatever. He had a little conversation and he was out on the street. But then he got picked up by the cops, right? Because what I forgot to put up in there from last week's episode was that girl in season 1 when Tommy came up into that apartment with that DJ that was cracked out, that was coked out, I should say. And he wound up getting killed and Vic was there. They was collecting money and all that stuff. That girl, she and her current boyfriend, they had got pulled over, probably had some drugs in the car. They was high as hell. And so in order for them not to catch a charge or whatever, she gave up Vic. Was the one that came there and was the one that had killed that DJ or whatever. And then said it was another white guy with him. I forgot to put out there too that Stacy, when she pointed out that it was Vic and she pointed out his mugshot, Stacy was like, is there anyone else? And she was pointing at Tommy's picture and she said, girl, nah, I don't know. I said, now, girl, see, this is why they call us dirty out here in Chicago. Because that was some dirty ass shit that you did. You know, granted, it was the truth, but you don't know that. Okay? I said, not you trying to do that, trying to force that girl to say, yeah, that was him too. So they picked up Vic, and of course Vic ain't gonna say nothing. Vic is being all like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. I'm not gonna tell you this and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. You ain't finna give me this rat out on nobody. You know, keeping it calm, cool, collected. He winds up getting out. He goes over there to his daddy's house. Doyle winds up fucking with Claudia. Claudia said, listen, girl, I don't want to fuck around with you right about now. And he was like, she said, when it's done, I'll give you a little puss. He said, I want it now. And then I was like, oh, okay. She said, fine. She wound up fucking him on the couch. And I said, damn, bitch, you got wet that quick? That's interesting. You just told that man to wait. And you was already dripping like that? Because you, all right. And it was only like 2 seconds. It literally lasted for 30 seconds, okay? I said, oh, a quick pumper. Anyway, he also told him that the meet got moved up. So the people weren't going to come in at 9 p.m. They was coming in at 8:30. Why you need to go tell your brother that. And she didn't want to tell her brother because she found out. She thinking, okay, let's take daddy out so I can run this empire. And Doyle had to tell him, it doesn't matter if you take your daddy out. The fact that Vic is still here, they're going to give it to Vic. All right? Because they're still in that old school way that women don't run shit. Now, in order for your ass to get it, Vic gonna have to be gone too. So that's never gonna happen. And then that's when he told him that it's gonna be moved up to 8:30. You need to tell your brother so that he can get the hell up out of there. And so at that point, she made it seem like she was gonna call him, but she didn't call him. I said, dirty bitch. God damn. With family like this, who the fuck needs enemies, bitch? You can't trust nobody. So at this point, when they do that, Vic get over there to the crib, finna have a little dinner with the daddy. The daddy act like everything all to the good. Polly bring his happy-go-lucky ass. I said, goddamn, Polly. You had a moment to be free of this motherfucker when he said your services are no longer needed. And you begged your ass right back. And they up in there kikiing like ain't nothing happened. You will not talk to me the way that you spoke to me. And I'm going to be laughing all up in your face. Hell no. And so Vic was a little confused and was like, damn, this kind of fucked up. But then when they were sitting there, all of a sudden you see the people coming through and the alarm get tripped and all that stuff because they heard it. They see the people coming there with the guns, so they getting ready. Baby, at this point, Vic was trying to get Polly up out of there, talking about something. Why you want to go out there and do this for him? Because I'm loyal. I said, nigga, what? Fuck them loyalties right now. That man didn't even want you on here for the last couple of hours or so. The last 24 hours, he said that shit right in front of your family. Okay, your wife was standing up on the porch. Bitch, do you have no shame? Okay. He said, no, I don't. So I'm going to stand up for my nigga. I said, all right. And of course, they went out there, guns a-blazing, and Polly got first. I said, damn, Polly. Next thing you know, the security getting hit, the other people getting hit. Then that redhead, the apocalypse, he saw Vic there. He like, what the fuck? Next thing you know, they start shooting at each other. Then Walter come out there. Walter got his little shotty, and he shooting at the dude. Dude had shot him in the leg or whatever, and Vic shot his ass in the shoulder, some shit. Next thing you know, he shot that motherfucker in the face. I said, the apocalypse done. I said, see, pick a better nickname, you probably would have survived. Girl, at that point, Victor came out there like, ain't this some shit? I think Walter had figured it out that Claudia was the one that betrayed him. And at this point, Victor said, oh, fuck it, because, nigga, I'm finna fuck your ass up right about here. Listen, bitch, we both betrayed your ass, okay? The shit that you did to Gloria, the shit that you did to me, you know, I fuck you, nigga. And he was like, oh, you just so soft, you're not gonna do nothing. Bitch, that's when Victor killed his ass. And at this point, I was just like, oh, shit. Victor killed his ass. And when Victor, you know, you got Claudia sitting over there in the house with Doyle. And she like, oh, my God, what's going on? What's going on? I haven't heard anything from them. What's happening? They was like, I don't know, because they confused. And what is going on? Like, how come nobody is saying nothing? And that's when Victor comes in, right? Victor comes in, and he got this look on his face. And then it was like, what happened? It was like, yeah, Daddy dead. Everybody and their mama over there dead. They came through. Who pulled the meet up to 8:30? They came early. And then Doyle was like, no. Because Claudia was like, so you mean to tell me you ain't tell my brother that they came early? He was like, bitch, I told your ass to tell him. And she was like, he didn't tell me shit. Pop. Killed Doyle. And I said, bitch, you gave it away right then and there. You gave it away right then and there. You should have said, so you didn't tell my brother that it was moved up to 8:30? Pop, that's what you should have did. You should have never let him be able to say anything. Soon as Doyle said, I did tell you, and then you popped his ass, that's when Vic realized and already knew, which I'm pretty sure he already knew, that Claudia was the one that set this shit up and wanted his ass to die because she wanted to be the one to be in control of everything, right? And so at this moment, what we find out is we see when they hugged each other, Claudia was scared. She had them tears in her eyes, not because she was crying because her daddy was dead and her brother almost died, because she knew that nigga was finna come for her ass and she knew she fucked up. Also, he had this look about, yeah, I'm finna fuck this bitch up in his eyes. You just have to look at them, okay? Next thing you know, we see Victor comes in there to Stacy and he said, listen, I'm gonna give you everything. I want immunity. Because then all of a sudden she started getting reports that the family had got killed, that Walter is dead in them. And he was like, yeah, my family died. I escaped by the hair of my teeth, you know. And my sister, she the one that set all that shit up. She the one that was running all that shit. And I can give it to, I can give you her. I want her ass to be locked the fuck up because death is too easy for her ass, okay? Because that bitch tried to kill me. And he was like, whatever you need. And she said, you know what? That's cool or whatever, but what I'm going to need for you, if you want this to happen, I'm going to need you to infiltrate CBI so that we can get Tommy Easy. And he said, that's fine with me. I said, shit. That was fucking power. That was a good episode. I ain't going to lie to y'all. And he going to be working with, I said, y'all too fucking trusting. Too fucking trusting. But anyway, that was Power Book Force. Y'all tell me how y'all feel, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.